Hey friends, it's Valerie with Valerie Joy Photography. I wanted to talk to you today about one of the most important things when it comes to planning your wedding, and that is choosing your wedding photographer. First, I would suggest talking to your friends. If you know people who've gotten married recently in your town, talk to them, get their advice. They're going to give you an honest, personal opinion of their experience with their wedding photographer. They might give you some really good references, or at least tell you who to avoid. They had one-on-one experience with that person, they've seen what they deliver in the end, and they are going to give you some really good advice. And we all trust our best friends, right? So ask around. Next, I suggest obviously browsing the internet, but not just your area. Don't be afraid to look outside of your city, even a different state. I've had people hire me from across the country, and because of where they lived and how much photographers charged in their area, it was worth it to pay my plane ticket and my hotel stay because of how much they saved hiring someone from a different part of the country who might charge less. What's the worst they can say? No. It's worth asking though. I pretty much guarantee most photographers are going to be willing to travel. They may charge an extra fee, but finding the photographer you really love is going to be worth it. As you're browsing different photographers' websites, you want to look at a few things. Do their photos look high quality? Do they have a good variety of posed pictures and candid moments? And do they have a style that you really resonate with? There's a lot of different editing styles out there, a lot of different ways to shoot. Find one that you really love. It's not a right or wrong thing, it's just what you prefer. So once you've browsed the internet, you've seen what you liked from different photographers, I would suggest settling on a budget. Hopefully you've seen the range of prices out there and you know what it costs to hire a wedding photographer. When it comes to photography, you get what you pay for. You might have friends or family members that offer to do your photography for free, and that might sound appealing. I'm a very frugal person, I understand, but wedding photography is very different. Your friend might be great at capturing a beautiful landscape on vacation, or maybe catching some cute pictures of their kids, but when it comes to weddings, it's a whole different ballgame. Photography should definitely be in the top 3 financial priorities of your wedding. And I don't say that because I'm a wedding photographer. I was a bride too, and it's totally one of the most important things you can invest in on your special day. A higher priced photographer is going to offer you 3 main things. They're going to have higher quality equipment that can handle a variety of lighting situations. They're also going to have plenty of wedding experience. They're going to know what things to look for on the day and how to capture those awesome candid moments. And they're going to have an artistic eye. They're going to know how to pose you and your loved ones to get the best shots. Your wedding photos are going to serve as your memory. As time goes on, your memory is going to fade on those details of your wedding day, and your photos are going to be the reminder of what an important day it was. So all the money and effort that you put into that experience, you want to remember that stuff, and you want it to be captured in a beautiful, artistic, stunning way. If you are on a tighter budget, don't count out the higher priced photographers yet. I would suggest contacting the photographer, seeing if they're available for your date, and then just telling them honestly what your highest budget is, the most you can pay, and then ask them what they're able to do for that amount of money. They might be able to customize a package for you. You might not get as many hours as you were hoping, but you could still get a really quality photographer to shoot those key moments of your day, the portraits, and the ceremony. I would say those are the top 2 priorities, maybe even the beginning of your reception. Then maybe you could find a friend or family member to shoot those more casual parts of the day, getting ready, maybe the open dancing and end of the reception. And it's still possible to stay within your budget, but come home with awesome photos. My last point, now you've narrowed down the search for a photographer, you maybe have like 2 or 3 favorites at this point. I would strongly suggest setting up a face-to-face meeting with those final contenders. I would allow for about an hour of face-to-face time where you can talk about the details of your wedding day. You can ask them specific questions and just getting to know each other. You're going to spend several hours with your wedding photographer on one of the most important days of your life, so you want to make sure you guys really get along and click. After that face-to-face meeting, consider a few things. Did they seem positive and encouraging? Were they willing to work with your specific requests? And before you go into these face-to-face meetings, just search the internet for questions to ask a wedding photographer, and they will give you a great list of really important questions to ask. So having been a wedding photographer for the last 10 years and also having been a bride myself, I hope this has been helpful and you can go into this wedding planning season with everything you need to know to have no regrets when you get those photos back. I just wanted to give you a little bit of wisdom as you enter this season of wedding planning. Have a happy new year. So as a wedding photographer for the last 10 years and also having been a bride myself, I just want to give you a little stumble. And there are all suggesting that I'd suggest seeing what you like. I'd take 379. Here's my advice, guys. Talk to your friends.